Jamming.
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Krishna 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 Jaya Lakshmi Jaya Ma Kali Ma Kali Ma Kali Ma. Namaste, Jaquel.
Namaste.
Namaste. Let me get my bells. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Namaste. Aloha.
Aloha. We're here at this wonderful time.
Families.
Hey.
Full energy.
Jaquel, we're so lucky, huh? How are you feeling?
Oh my goodness, Deva, namaste to you.
Namaste.
You. It's been so long, so many things happening. Welcome everyone watching to My Insights with Jaquel Cardona. Today we have an incredible discussion. It is Sunday, April 5th, 4/5/2020. Going through the COVID-19 transcension.
I love that.
Yes,
yeah.
So we have the amazing Deva Nirguna, who I've had the pleasure to work with, to learn from, to interview, and I'm glad to have him in this new channel right here, especially during this time, this amazing astro, what do you call yourself, astro?
Well, you know, I'm AAA, Jaquel. You know, I'm astrologer, artist,
Teacher,
and architect. So I'm AAA. So
pretty much transcending into wizard at this point. So I'm so honored to meet them. And if you don't know about Deva, you will know after today. So I know that I wanted to invite him in a talk at this time because I met with Deva. He had a visit here. We had a beautiful energy exchange. We were reading the charts. I was doing healing, and he had predicted something very relevant to today. I remember he was reading my chart, and he told me it was going to come. Energy is very difficult for me and for the collective. And then he said, but prepare for December. It's just going to get even more harder. And I started meditating with all this new spring equinox happening, tapping even more into myself. And it all came to like, wow, this is all about the cosmos. It has so much to do with energetic, cosmic shield and happening the whole spring. And I knew that you were predicting something, like you're so knowledgeable with the astral. So
let me give you a little update about where we are as, you know, in this big story that's been going on, Jaquel. So beautiful to see your studio. You know, I'm here in my studio down in Guatemala, Lake Atitlan. We're all under lockdown, you know, and I'm sure for everybody, it's like the most remarkable and crazy time, you know, certainly Disneyland's kind of time, and we could even go into that. But somehow it feels good. It's time. So let me give a little local timing. First of all, I'm here in the Mayan land. So today is 1-ish. Ish is the wind. Number 1, the unity. It's the day for communication. And I chose today, after this big conjunction last night, there were 1 million people meditating because Pluto is now gone, Jupiter rather has gone past Pluto. And it's the last of the big planets to go past Pluto in this big 6-week period. So everything is now releasing. And I chose this time today, Wanik, because it's today to start how we communicating. Jupiter, what are we doing? How are we going to go through now? And I chose this time in the morning because Taurus is rising, Venus rules Taurus. It's a time of love and expression and the feminine to start to emerge. Now, we've had this release over 6 weeks, but we are in a marathon here. Don't think that things are just going to play out and we'll all get back to normal. There is no back to normal. So we have to start over this immediate time. Next year is very important with Aquarius energy. Pluto goes Aquarius later on. We're looking at 6 or 7 years of emergence here. But that's kind of the timing, how we get to this beautiful moment. But one thing that I want to do is I've watched Jaquel since we talked, which is not so long now, just a few months, emerge in this amazingly interesting self-expression, creativity, really this kind of Uranian energy. Here I am, and Uranus is in Taurus. We have a counter energy going on in Taurus of the new way of doing things. And we're already in that energy. So today the discussion is, how do we find our creativity in this time? That's one question. Because to me, Jaquel, it just embodies that sense of presence and creativity. So that's just to bring us to where we are. It's a really important key in the door moment. We have to open the door and walk through.
Beautifully said. You know, Deva, I have to say that a lot of this transformation that you have seen within myself was since I've even met you for the first time. All the insight that you have given me, and you have inspired me to get more into astrology and getting to know like my energetic like planets that align with me and how to work with them. You always give me a tip. You've been my mentor throughout these times. And I'm so honored because you're so spiritual and so shamanic at the same time. And I like that earthy energy about you and how you paint these energies, because I know you're painting right now. So I just want to say thank you for that. And it just shows how I have put my part.
You definitely more than you have really started to dance with the planets. And I think this is really important. It's not like we are separate. Why would astrology work? Because it's a music, it's a play. And this sense of being part of is what we have to really acknowledge. We are not separate from the Earth Mother. And she's taking a big time out and a big breath now. And she can hold her breath for a lot longer than we can. We're like little ants who've just got our nests all upset. And what the heck are we doing? And, you know, and scurrying around. And she's going, yeah, okay.
I say the same analogy. I'm like, we're little ants, like snails almost, like so insignificant. We can just, the earth is like, excuse me, you guys have a disaster. I have to clean up. It's like cleaning up your bedroom and then in the corner. You're like, I'm sorry, I have to like clean up the spider web. The spider itself is like, wow, it's a hurricane for the poor spider.
Yes.
The spider is not in the right environment.
You know, and the thing about one egg today of the air is, you know, the wind and the air can be super, super powerful. You know, it could be a hurricane. In fact, hurricane comes from a Mayan word. It's one of the few Mayan words in English. You know, so the wind can be a hurricane, but the wind can also be this gentle breeze that we can dance with. So we have to learn our dance, and I think breath work is super important. I've been almost 6 weeks now in this whole time doing breath work every day.
Let me tell you, the breath work is like key. I do the pranayama. I always do the nostril ones, and then I do the fire breath, where I hold my breath. And this is so important. People don't understand. You're right. It's like the prana. It really helps. It also helps when I'm fasting. it gives me energy. Like it just holds me a little bit together for some reason, especially during this time that this virus attacks the respiratory, you would say, right? The prana.
Yes, so you know, just working the boosts the immune system. You know, I do a very relaxed kind of chakra breathing. It's a very interesting, simple breath work practice that anybody could do, but I've done it for 40 years. It's never boring. Also, if you can get a chance to do some holotropic breath work, the Graf study from Esalen, you know, what I'm finding with this, what's gone on in the last few weeks, super intelligent voices are starting to make their presence really felt. And everybody has time for this now, a little bit, you know, so breath, life, communication. You know, so we're in this super powerful place. And if anybody wants, you know, I'll forward a couple of simple links for chakra breathing that anybody can do. You don't have to be a yogi, you know, you can do this.
Can we do, like, I'd love to invite everyone watching right now.
Yes.
To do a little breath work just to center ourselves and be able to, you know, relax the nervous system, so that your brain works better. Like we relax the fight or flight, and we can absorb this information, this transmission at this time.
So the simplest one that I know is just to which nostril are you breathing in?
I'm going to like light a little stage, and I let you do a short, just centering one of Deva's amazing meditations. So clear up the energy right now. So all the negative thoughts, all the cognitive dissonance, and just mental, like just fog, clear away from your mind, so that you can be able to absorb this information, this transmission that comes from a divine intelligence, with an open mind, with receptivity, so that you're able to integrate it and apply it to you for your own benefit, because we're here in service to help all of us as human brothers and sisters that we are, no matter what race we are, no matter what language we speak. It doesn't matter what God you worship. We're all inside the same. We bleed the same red blood. With that being said, Deva.
You know, setting up sacred space, Shakel, you live life as ceremony. We should all live life as ceremony. These very simple things to do. So we're going to do something extremely simple. You know, if you close your eyes and just notice, which nostril are you breathing in? Just, you have nothing to do. In fact, meditation is just about awareness. It's just waking up to this moment. So note which nostril that you're breathing in. And as you sit there, feel that warmth of the breath going through the hairs in your nostrils. Oh my God. Breathing in and breathing out, maybe through the mouth. You can't do it wrong. You do it 28,000 times a day. You're very good at breathing. And take a big, full breath, maybe through the mouth. And at the same time, feel your hands where they are, or your feet on the ground. Become present with your body. And take a deep breath down into the belly. And as you do that, just allow your belly and your hips and your bottom chakras just to move a little with your breath. Maybe a sound. We're breathing down in the bottom chakras. And let that breath come up. Into your heart. Breathe in your heart. Let your body move with your breath. Dance with your breath. Few breaths in the heart. Now let's move up to the third eye. Try and breathe in your third eye. The place between your eyes there, the third eye, the vision place. And now breathe in through the top of your head like your essence. Oh, putting your essence out into the universe. And now relax and feel energy coming back down. You feel like you've opened something. Now you're receiving energy. Maybe now there's no breath. Hold your breath. Feel the energy come down as you hold your breath. Come into you. Clearing you. Pushing away things. Pushing things down, heavier things into the ground. So take a big breath, and now let's express the breath. Let's do Aum. Breath is song, breath is expression. And so coming back, maybe just doing a namaste to yourself, feeling your presence. You know, that was 2 minutes. That was 2 minutes in your day. But the chakra breathing link that I will send will take you through that.
I must say that was wonderful. That was wonderful. I feel elevated already.
You know, just a taste with keys in the door here. Imagine if you dedicate half an hour a day to your practice, you know, including just learning how it is to breathe and explore your body, you know. This is what I feel about you, Jaquel. You're so in your body. You so enjoy the temple of your body. You know how to work. My body's telling me I need to fast. Let's tune into the nature. It's spring energy. You know, I'm part of, I'm not separate of. You know, spring is when we do a dry fast, or we do this or that. This sense that we're part of this bigger story is the main point. You're not a victim of something now. You're tuning into something now.
It's a beautiful thing too, because I've been like this my whole life since I was a child. I was like that weird child. And me and my mother have been talking about it lately because of the ascension. And she was like, Mom, do you remember that I used to I was the very introverted child that would talk to myself. And I was always talking what I called the invisible people. I like people of water, she said. Like I would say it like in Spanish, muñequito de agua.
See?
Yeah. I that's the name of it. And we had this conversation 2 days ago. I said, Mom, I'm really tapping into me. I just need to know these things. She was like, oh yeah, you would go around and just, there would be a group and you just sit next to a tree and just be all weird. Like looking around and having a lizard in your hand and just like that weird, you know? So, and I feel like when I need to, and you taught me that so much, but also I have this shamanic ways of just most of them, sometimes, and even books, I just go to the earth and I feel like I talk to the trees. Like we have a conversation. I'm here tapping into this crow. This crow is coming by since the beginning of spring and we're having a conversation, and the crows are not delivering a message that it's there. They have this warrior essence of them as like Mars type of message, these crows. And I know what they're telling me. It sounds insane, but I am really in tune. And that's why I feel like what you're saying, like being in the body is very earthy for me. Like it's so much to do with this dense earth and these animals, creatures.
So you know, you see, you mentioned ascension, and what we did then is we ascended the energy, but then we brought down the energy. This is what we have to do right now as well. It's not about ascending out and leaving. It's bringing it down. Yeah, so we can bring into this very body, you know, the goddess, this very body, the Buddha. And the nature is so cooperative. We're so quiet here at the lake in our lockdown. I was out on the porch last night playing guitar, and as I played, the birds they were playing with me. I swear, you know, nature is going, ha ha, we're here. You know, so taking a time out to talk with nature however you can. You know this because you sense I feel good now. You know, I'm tuning in. I think this astrology is tuning into the big celestial beings. It's all about tuning. And you strike the right note, which is your note, huh? And it's so beautiful. That's what the universe wants you to do. Sing your song, dance your dance. You know, this is an opportunity, huh?
We forget we're organic beings, and I feel like when you are like this with nature, that you respect the mother, Pachamama,
absolutely,
in that way, that you're going out and talking. You think they don't got your back? You are going to be protected when
of course
the storm comes. I know that the universe is like gonna protect the creatures that are like, wait,
yes,
gotta protect this creature because this creature is doing good is helping me birth.
You know, if we look, you know, we do have in nature predators, you know, we are food for something else, and we are food for the gods. We are food, you know, we have to look beautiful, you know, so it can be a good presentation. So the predator thing has taken over the capitalism and all of this. It has taken over. So, you know, we've cut down the trees, we've dug out the gold, you know, we've sold everything, you know, we can't do this anymore. We have to change. And the beauty of being simple and tuning in at many levels, what can you do to consume less, turn in, have more time to be present with nature, with the trees, with your family, with your community, with the globe, with the planet. You know, these are not complicated things to do. And the richness that comes from this on the inside. I mean, you are such a testament to this, Shaka. I mean, look how beautiful you are. Look what you're doing. Now you have everything.
I'm here to be in service. I feel like this is when we stop almost aging. Like, and these ancestors that used to last, why are we dying so quick? Like the ancestors, they didn't even keep up with the ages. They were like dying at 200 years old and still doing their yoga and doing their work. But we're like here in this society where they're just like, we're brain, like just indoctrinated to think that we have to retire a certain time, that we have to follow orders, that we got to be mechanical, that we're not good for anything else, that we came out of the nothingness, and like disconnecting us from the true essence that we are powerful beings, that we're here to be creators the whole time and be at service at something. Like, you know, we're supposed to be the ones collecting our rain and sustaining ourselves, and not being the ones, like being the farmer of our lives, of our trees and of our foods, and not the cows, the cattle in the matrix farm. You know?
But you know, that trust that comes, that it works out, that you talked about being protected, that it will work out. That trust only comes from taking action and it working out. Would you agree? It's not a belief. You have to actually make the steps. I can remember through my life, you know, so many times when, oh my God, and then you present me with this gift, this teaching, this moment, even finding money on the street in India when I was hungry, you know, it comes from you having to take the actions of growing, of flowering, of dancing, not pulling back and being afraid.
Yeah.
And the fear is going to be in your belly, and that's where the breath comes to release that energy. Okay, I can release that. I made it here. I came through a birth canal. Look what you did to get here. Don't waste this time, huh?
I know.
Earth Mama wants you to flower. Look, we look at a flower or a tree, we go, oh my God, you are so beautiful. You know, talking with a tree that's rooted in one spot for hundreds of years. How silent is that? How in tune is that? But you are part of nature. You're not separate. That's the mistake that man has made. I can control this. I'm in charge.
I mean, there
No, but
are like that would not go camping, that they're just like, oh no, I would never. I'm like, are you serious? You
just
will heal if you have any illness. Just stay in the woods for 1 week.
yes,
You'll come back, you're centered, you're okay, it went
yes,
away. Like you got it's we need it. We're oxygenated creatures that are electromagnetic. We are part of
yes,
matter. The earth will eat us anyway. Like we are food for
yes,
the earth, if anything.
yes. We're always food for something.
Plug to me, like people don't understand. Like we are plugging instruments, like that we have to plug into the earth from the moolah and
Yes,
to the source from the.
yes.
That's just how we are. We have to be plugged in order to be in perfect balance.
That's right.
We're either one too much or here too much. You know, like we have forgotten to work with the divine feminine and divine masculine in a balanced way.
You know, it's time. It's time to be present, to integrate this male and female energy that we each have. We have it in different ways, you know. I can't give birth, but I can paint. You know, there's ways to work. How are you creative? Well, be receptive. We have a beautiful hot springs here hotel, and I was there before all of this, and I was doing like 7 baths for each chakra, you know, in the heart and out, and I got to the 5th chakra, and I was going, well, what is it? What am I learning here? And very clearly it was, look at the colors. And at that moment, I saw coming through a banana leaf, which was going from green to gold.
Wow.
The light, the sun was coming through. Oh my God, we can even be gold.
And gold is like very divine.
It's very divine, and just this simple, huge moment. Don't miss these moments. Get into nature. Get into your nature.
Yeah, because when people are not in connection, during these times, my amethyst. This is a wonderful crystal to work with for all of those going through anxiety through these times. You know, like the anxiety of what's happening in this birth, and amethyst. It's a wonderful to work with during this in your Manipura chakra, your solar plexus, to calm it down from the anxiety. So
I think, Jaquel, you know, working with the chakras, with the essences of the chakras, maybe we can, we can do a series maybe on this. Let's think about that and talk at some. We'll see what the response is. But you know, I love that we're setting a seed. This is a key in the door. I think we've touched a lot of things here together. Yeah.
Yes. The key. I did an oracle. You know what? I did an oracle yesterday in this inspiration card.
Okay.
While you do your little melody.
Oh, please, let's do that. Yes.
Chakra oracle deck. So
there we are.
I'm right here calling on these energies, this beautiful Venus and Taurus.
You know, I love so much how you slap those cards together. To me, it's just like, whoa, this is intense reading is going on here.
These are really great too. These are beautiful cards. So it kind of like defines the chakra that we need to pay attention to. And I love working with the chakras. I'm very knowledgeable with them and with crystal work. So I work with crystals on your chakras. That's one of the things I do. And tune you with tuning forks or crystal music, all these crystals, and throw some cards.
This is Sunday morning church, isn't it?
Exactly. This is the Sunday morning church. This correct human.
What do we have to learn?
We have to learn, yeah. What chakra should we really, besides the four, two, number 4, which is the foundation, the pillars, you know, building our structure. But what chakra, watching this, is there something to learn or feel in that chakra?
So we can make a step. Family.
Can you see it straight or reversed?
Which chakra is that?
Root chakra.
That's the throat, our 5th chakra.
Root chakra.
Root chakra.
My shamanic.
So it starts there, doesn't it? Our connection to the earth, our connection to roots, grounding. That we're all family, we're all part of.
And we have to unite more than ever. It seems like now is the time where people start uniting with one another, which is a good thing. I always
we have to.
Really good happening from these, you know, what people call chaos and crisis. It's necessary. It's like when you have this pile of like paper in your office, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like that day where, you know, it reminds me of my mother when I was a little girl, when I piled things up and she would mess them up more in the bed. Now you have to clean it, you know, like, oh my God. It's like, done. And in reality, kind of like, yes, as creatures, because we've been like indoctrinated to depend so much on the government and depend on others to feed us. We're amazing if we want to tap into it.
Oh, we are so amazing. Huh? I mean, look at the space you've created there. It's the good.
What is
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, good.
It's so good. Go ahead. I'm playing lead here.
So good.
Mama, mama, mama. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. We're so sorry. Please forgive us now. Mama, Ma. We're so sorry. Please forgive us now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Maybe now we can dance together. We love you. 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 Namaste, Jaquel. Namaste.
Positivity to everyone. It's about
Everyone. Huh?
my beautiful friends, right? My tribe out there. This is about creation. See how we get into this creativity energy. We've been conditioned to use this sexual energy, which is creative energy, for the wrong reasons, like really like draining it out, not utilizing it well, and making you like dumb. Essentially, it makes people dumb. It's purposely.
Yeah, I mean, pulling that energy up, you know, pulling that energy up. If you're clear, it hits the heart, it becomes love, comes out through your hands. It's in your music. You can sing, it comes up here.
Yeah, and you heal yourself.
You heal yourself.
Express yourself, and what happens is like when you relax your body like that, where you're expressing yourself freely, you're not afraid to just let the harmony. Life is music, like you said. I'm always like, I'm a dancer. I love to move, and it's a way of me healing myself because I'm able to express myself as I am. I'm not suppressing any part of me.
That's right.
We know deep inside there's a lot of people who don't express their talent because sometimes they don't think they have it, because they've been conditioned to do something very, very computer, like this is all you're good for. You've never tapped into that art or that skill that you have, really. So you're afraid to express this because you're also afraid that people will not like it.
Yes, judgments.
And to be able to embrace yourself, whether people like it or not, to be in that space, which is it takes so much healing and self-love. You have to grow from it. You don't care. What happens is like those people disappear out of your life because they're not aligned with you anyway. They're not good energy. All of a sudden you attract different people. You have these other people that are just like you, that love you for your uniqueness, that embraces. We're like flowers.
We are flowers.
To be a bunch of like a garden of roses. Each little one, even though they are all roses, have this unique shape, this unique form, size.
Every snowflake is different, huh?
And they're all beautiful, and they're
all beautiful. I mean, look, you know, you look at the stars and you don't look at the stars and go, oh my God, that doesn't look right. We should rearrange the stars. Or you look at the hills and you go, oh no, we should change that mountain. We don't change nature. Nature's always beautiful. Always beautiful.
Yeah, there's no judgment like, oh, let's change this mountain, let's redo it or something. There's
no, though, you know, I know it doesn't feel right. We should have them all even. No.
I love that concept, yeah. And it just shows true beauty. I always say true beauty comes from Mother Nature. She is the biggest need is the Mother Earth. I mean, think about it. We get all of our arts and all of our inspiration, our songs, everything.
Yes.
We look with our own eyes, like for us, less people who have vision should like cherish those things that we have the ability to enjoy these things, like you're saying.
They're so simple, and to take that time, put the pencil in your hand. I was looking, you know, at The Guardian the other day, and David Hockney is sitting there just painting the spring, like painting after painting of brightness and color. And he says, what should you do in this time? He said, love the trees, man. I have my whole life. Look, he sells paintings for $20 million now by loving the trees.
By loving the trees. That abundance, that Taurus, like energy. And the earth is like, this beautiful being comes to me and sings to me and connects with me. I want to protect you. I'm going to make sure you're going to have material abundance that comes from the earth. Let me remind people that material abundance comes from the divine feminine. It's essentially the earth owns all this material.
Look at the sun. Does the sun charge for shining?
Right? You imagine like it would be like a space line, like for sunlight. I have this beautiful essence of rose. Speaking of, it's a beautiful cone incense that I want to light up, and you can just tap into your own, you know, scent and imagine in your nose. You know, we're like intuitive beings. This beautiful rose scent to just bring love into this beautiful conversation.
All you need is love.
This is
Bum-ba-da-ba-dum.
right in here. I brought the big mama for my cleansing, the condor feather.
Wow.
This big condor feather, it's like so thick, you don't understand.
You know, California is so brilliant. You know, if people ask who are you, I say I'm a California shaman because everything integrated for me there in California.
Really?
And I'm so happy with how California and the governor is trying to deal with this and the honesty of everything. And I was in Esalen a few years ago, and we were sitting there on the grass doing something at Esalen, which is such a powerful integrator of our energies, you know. And this huge condor landed on the tree and just sat there and watched us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He just sat there. So your condor feathers, for me, you know, how they've come back in California and this sense of presence. I mean, Jaquel, there you are sitting right in the middle of LA, and look how you have this oasis around you. And I know how
I'm lucky because I live like next to Hollywood, next to the Hollywood Hills. So there's this Griffith Park.
Yeah.
And that park is I'm very lucky to be next to that park right now, especially now, because I could just walk there. Yeah. And it goes really far. You can take it to Burbank, and this park will go if you hike it.
Yes.
Nothing like the tropics. Deva, let's be real.
I know. I live in an amazing place. But
paradise more than anyone.
Right? But, you know, if we look back also, I think that brings us into the architect in me, strangely enough. We can look, like I went to college in London, you know, I did architecture in London. And London's had a lot of plagues, Black Death, choleras through the years. And each time the city had to change, you know, the Victoria Embankment there along the Thames was because of the cholera, and they had to put in whole new septic and sewer systems to deal. So our urban environment has changed according to these things. And I can imagine a greener place where we have gardens and things going on everywhere on our rooftops. It does not have to look like Blade Runner. You know, we can change. And LA I've loved my time in LA. I feel very at home in LA. And the city can green, and it can change how we're doing things and become more local. So this thing of the family card, you know, what can we do? Where's our community space? You know, where's our community gardens? You know, so I think affecting us, everything locally is a very important thing at this. Another key in the door, architecture, how we can replan things.
Oh my God, you brought an incredible point right now, especially mentioning here in LA, because I'm Caribbean born. Like I grew up and raised in the same paradise that you, like, but in the Caribbean. So, but here, I mean, all my transformation and all my growth, it took place here in this place.
Yes, California.
I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, I never regret it. Are you kidding me?
No.
I live in Florida on the East Coast. I was like, no, I was meant to do this change. It happened. From here, I went to Thailand, to Costa Rica, to the jungle, travel the world, and from living here. And I love this place too. There's an essence of it that even though I thought of getting away from it, at the same point, you brought something very interesting to the table, because I even saw several people getting all very resourceful and starting to do their own little gardens. Just tiny backyard, whatever.
Yes.
Just becoming very holistic within the urban.
Yes.
And I like that, because we could, if we would all stick together and really
Yes.
realize what's happening, it was like, hey, you know what? Sometimes we just can't go. We have nowhere to go. It's not like we can go and have some land in the country. You might as well become kind of like very dependable of your own self, independent yourself with the community. Like, hey, like the architect things. Do we know how to collect water? Do we know how to, like make it distilled and all these things? How can we grow sprouts? And
we've been sprouting. We've been sprouting here, even though we live in the tropics. And I was in the market the other day, and from Costa Rica, we bought lettuces that all still have the roots on them.
Wow, yeah.
So we buy the lettuce, thank you very much, and we put the root in the ground and we get more lettuce. What a beautiful thing to do. Thank you. This lettuce grows well here in the tropics, and you're giving us an ability to grow.
And then
Look
we
at
get
that.
the opportunity to get out of the slavery, like bills.
Yes.
Bills, and depending on, I have to pay electricity, I have to pay water, I have to go to the supermarket and buy GMO food that you think is organic but still have some sprays. You don't know who's handling it. How beautiful is that you have those research, like, okay, yeah, what is the other, like the downside? That you got to wake up with the chickens, and garden to take care of it. We're lazy as human beings.
In Arroyo Grande, which is where I have relatives halfway up there by San Luis Obispo, Pismo Beach, in Arroyo Grande, there are chickens running around in the village. They're a tourist attraction. Everywhere there's chickens, around that village. You have to stop the cars to let the chickens go over.
In my island, it's like that.
It's like that, So I was talking to my mom, she's 93 in England, and she doesn't come out. She's protected. She said, it's so beautiful. Spring's coming. It's so quiet. I don't see any cars. I said, maybe we'll start to see deer coming down the street, Mom. She went, oh, wouldn't that be nice?
She didn't know anything.
She's kind of knows, but she's in her bubble, right? So this naturing of the cities, is there a way we can not go down the road of Blade Runner and
and fall into some trap?
And fall into those traps? We can either go into VR, virtual reality, and not come out, and it looks like Blade Runner, or we can go into, no, let's renature it.
Let's renature it now more than ever. And if we stick together and we step into courage, which this is a great time for courage, Aries energy.
Yes.
It's like the energy of let's get it done. Like people are like, oh, it's like, it upsets me because before I understand, like in the past, but I think it's time to wake up now because we're going to see things, right?
Yes.
With this COVID and get even worse. We're going to try to control. So we need to take charge us as human beings for the future children.
For the children's children. And this key in the door today, this week, that started on Monday with Saturn coming up to, with Mars coming up to Saturn in Aquarius, that then becomes Jupiter joining Pluto, that then becomes Jupiter joining Saturn in Aquarius at the end of the year, that then becomes...
Do people realize the intensity of these planets?
Oh.
Okay, we're talking Pluto, like the planet of destruction, which is necessary. It can kill this virus, actually. Not only is killing people, but it has the capability to be transmuted for good, but it's expanded, right? In Jupiter.
Yes, so the teachings, so they've all come past Pluto. And if we talk about Pluto a little bit, it's interesting because I mentioned Disney. Now, when a planet's discovered, we look at the synchronicity of what was going on. So Pluto was discovered in the 30s at the time of nuclear energy and the League of Nations. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's cycles. So Pluto, from little things, viruses, big effects. That's Pluto, little thing, nuclear explosions, but also it's League of Nations. We're on one planet together. We don't have boundaries. When you look at the Earth from the moon, that's a Pluto shot. And Tomby, who was a student who discovered Pluto, got to name it. You know, and all the professors were very upset because this student walked out one morning on the telescope. They'd been looking for decades. They knew from Neptune there was another one. And if we find it, we can name it. And this student goes out, he's 21, he gets it. Oh, he gets to name it. So for 6 weeks, they were saying, what are you going to call it? And finally a girl wrote to him. This is from his own mouth. He's dead now. But thank God to NASA, they sent some of his ashes on that flyby of Pluto. And this girl wrote to him, said, why don't you call it Pluto after the Disney character?
What?
Yeah, and he was 21. He went, oh yeah. And he understood he had to give it a Greek name, and Pluto fitted all of this thing. But also he had the humor of it. So it's Disney-like out there. And when they went past Pluto,
I heard how Pluto character had something to do with the planet.
When they flew by Pluto, there's this beautiful photograph. Look up on NASA, the shot of Pluto. It's got an ice heart on it.
Yeah.
It does. It has a. So Pluto wants us to transform also at this depth.
Yeah.
So now all the planets have gone past. Pluto is now pushing everything. Get on.
Pluto's like with like the soldier.
Yeah, you can't come back.
Like, move, bitch.
Yeah, right. It is.
You're like, what? Move. Move. Mercury was telling us move nicely. Like, listen, you have to move, explaining. And Pluto's like, move.
So.
And if we resist, Deva, right? If we resist, it's almost energetically like a shot. Like if the Pluto does shoot you and people go, sometimes that's
there will be resistance because during the year, Saturn and Pluto both come back. So we're going to see resistance and then we'll see a second wave. You know, it'll just keep on coming. The ocean, it keeps on coming. The waves keep on coming. This is the first big wave. This is a tsunami. But this is not giving up like this because we have to change.
Effects. Like if there's a wave, it's always like that even with tsunami. That first one creates this huge one that is coming right after. So I know that you mentioned that. I'd like for you to touch a little bit on that energy that you were speaking of coming in December. Because
we've got a number of things through the year, but in December we have Saturn and Pluto, which are visible. We can play with these guys. Jupiter, which is now being pushed by Pluto. Our teachings, chakra breathing, who we are, our gurus, our spirits. Saturn, how we structure everything. The architect. Let's build different green cities. These are visible. They're coming together for the first time in an air sign for hundreds of years. We have to come together and communicate, and it happens at the end of the year. And at the start of this week, we had Saturn and Mars come together at the same degree of Aquarius. That's why that's the key in the door to that bigger energy that starts at the end of the year. But before then, it's backwards and forwards with the energy. More waves. So we're in a marathon this year. We're in a marathon. This is not going to change so fast.
Yeah, it's not going to. We're going through basically what Deva's saying. It's just a little wave that just started it. Get ready. We're going to be riding this wave. And what we need to understand as human beings is that we have to understand that it's time to step it up into the old.
Yes.
Like if you don't change with this paradigm, it's going to change your life somehow. You're going to lose something. because we can't operate by that same mentality of waiting, sitting at home, depressed, calling the banks, which I did all of that, like, and just waiting to be instructed. Or no, like, this is a time where it's calling to go back to the roots, to assist the mother in her birth right now, and to understand that we are organic beings, that it's time to take it back and, you know, pick up like what the ancestor left, that we need to start being human beings that are organic and stop being so mechanical, acting like we are robots. We're just disintegrating ourselves and our species, and we're breeding, I hate to say it, but the stupid breed. That's what happens. We depend on the government. We stay in this moronic like way of living, 9 to 5, this robotic, like you do what you're told and don't ask questions. This is how the world is. This is what I'm told. And we're raising these children within that belief system, and we're breeding this stupid breed. And that's what they want, so that they can control everyone. But we are like more, that's why the indigo and crystal children's, right? They come. You have to teach this stuff to the kids more than ever. The chakra breathing, to be able to grow seeds with the children. We're teaching the wrong thing in school. Children should know how to make a fire. There should be a class for like, graduate when you know how to make a fire in the woods. You know, like these kind of things, know how to grow.
Well, the basic, you know, the basic thing that you're part of nature, that you're not.
Like this. It's like we have to be able to learn these things, become architects of our own self, become the designers, and work. We're lazy. Get up and do that breath work, maintain your body so that you don't get ill. Immune system building, like make your own medicines. I make my own toothpaste for years now, Deb. I'm starting to ask yourself. I make it off medicines and essential oils, and I swear, I think it's one of the reasons why I never get sick, because the teeth, everything goes in it. But I think I heal myself with it, and I'm learning to do my own soap, my own lotion. Yeah, I do my own things, my own products, and I feel like, and it's gonna help me. And that's why when you do these fasts, something happens. You're able to like go on without food, just water for a day, and you can be fine. You've experienced what that is, and you can manage. But the people who've never experienced that, and you've been eating very toxic McDonald's, you're gonna go through some panic. The body's gonna react. So we need to prepare, because I was saying that in a live video the other day. I was telling people it's best to prepare than to be sorry. You have to, it's calling for us to become resourceful, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, you know, I live in the jungle halfway up a mountain, but we do the same things. You know, everything you have to carry here comes on your back, so you don't waste what you bring. You don't want to backpack anything out. So we're the same, what we're growing in the garden, how we use everything up, you know. Eggshells can become this, that, and the other. So that whole resourcefulness of us, of going back in, but it has to start with the kids. So I think all the institutions are going into the Pluto crucible. What is education? What is healthcare? What is a government? You know, what are the support? Everything. These are huge things going into the pot. And I predict not this election, but the one afterwards. The States particularly has a very difficult time right now. But hopefully we'll see that emergent, feminine, you know, energy coming through in the next 6 or 7 years, especially with, you know, your generation and the ones behind you coming into their power as this old system dies off. But it's generational, you know.
A female could lead, right? There's
right.
That a female.
I mean, we had a taste already, you know, with 100 people getting elected, a little bit, you know, back and so on. And this is not quick things, but we all have to make our steps towards this. First is the view. Do we have the view? And the view is we're part of nature. This is what we should be teaching the kids. You know, we're not separate, we are part of.
Amen, man. Like I've been thinking that I almost wanted to like build like the little school, because if it wasn't because I was raised in these indoctrinating like institutes called schools, I know where I would be. No wonder like the children now like are so distracted, especially the empathic ones in schools, because we need to teach children how to meditate in the morning, how to do their little, in India they do it, they're beautiful. I see those
Beautiful.
5 years old doing their pranayama breath work, working with their chakras, they're bowing namaste to people, so already like, you know, being so respectful to nature, learning there. It's beautiful. Like this is what we need to, because they're the future. They're the ones who are gonna save humanity, because the earth doesn't need any saving. The earth can swallow us whole.
Oh God.
She will get pissed and say, you know what, I gave you guys the opportunity, you broke me, my hearts as my children, now I'm angry, and then a big wave, right? That's when the hurricanes and these quakes and people, oh God, and they're blaming God. Oh, like an earthquake. No, we did that to ourselves. We're disrespectful to the earth. We're disrespectful to the animal kingdom, the way we treat the animals. Yes. We're throwing and trashing our own earth. It's like the mother is like this sitting where like these little ants, like you said, they're like, you want to shake them, like compassionate enough.
You know, I love what you said to me. Coronavirus, if you redo it, it's carnivorous. We take the letters and put it around.
Carnivorous.
You know, using your beans, playing with lentils, cooking dal, the whole Indian way, sprouting things, putting water on seeds and they grow into food. So much simpler, huh?
It's so much simpler, and you can have so much food, and if you're resourceful, you store them, you know how to dry them out. That's your job. There's no more sitting in a computer typing something for someone else that you don't even know what it is. You're just really damaging someone else's life. Maybe it could be a detrimental job that you're putting negative energy into it, and you don't even know, but you could just be sprouting, sitting down with a family, right? Like creating your own thing, even becoming, I encourage men to become very handy nowadays. The ones that didn't know how to construct something and get a nail. I know how to, like, I'm pretty handy for a woman.
So, you know, these jobs of the future, I think we could make a list, you know, but there's so much intelligence looking at this right now. So hopefully what we've talked about will stir something somewhere, but the jobs of the future, you know, what are the jobs of the future? And it's the first job is to be connected to nature.
I agree with you. Like, to me, that's why I said that this whole shift starts with the root chakra, most of all.
Yes.
You have to start from the beginning and build
you have to start
a brand new foundation.
Yes.
You're stopping your life how you are and start thinking, what can you do? And get your tribe, you know. This is the time to connect with those people who support you. You know, the ones, you will see your true friends right now. You will see if your family is on board or they're still. Unfortunately, we can't force anyone to do anything. No. That's another thing. For us to, this is something I learned, that you see this evolving in me. And I used to be angry and push my family, especially into the awakening. They didn't know anything. I came to a realization that I'm just going to do me and make sure that I am an example myself, right? For my own children, for all my own, the people who look after me and so on and so forth, what I'm doing, the work and what I'm putting out and being the walk, like walking my own walk. And like, that's why you see me share so much, because I want to, here I am, I'm doing it. I'm just going to do this. And they learn just by seeing me, if they are meant to it. Because sometimes we interfere with someone's growth, and we're just interfering with the lessons that maybe the universe has for them. And we're just being nosed. Like, sometimes we have to be like, hey, here it is. If they don't want to, it's not their calling. It is not everyone's calling, unfortunately.
Well, self is also has the word selfish to it. So self-realizing, self-illuminating, you know. And if you find it, I was lucky enough for my heart chakra to open when I was doing a lot of practice in India. And there was an inner sun there. And then you just shine, huh? Inner child, inner innocence.
I got the same card yesterday in a reading. The same one.
You know, the Tao was written by Lao Tzu, the great teacher of Lao Tzu. And his name means, Lao means wise, old. And the Lao Tzu is the wise old child who still looks at nature with the innocence of a child.
Oh,
And
no.
you look at nature, go for a walk and look at nature with a child's eyes.
And it's beautiful because if you notice how the children don't even want to eat an animal until we introduce.
No.
I mean, how many of you people watching this, honestly, if you have children, don't you remember, go back and remember with your nephews or whatever, a time where there was a child, whether maybe it was you, that said, why do we eat the chicken? They question it.
Yeah.
When they realize, especially
Well, they've been playing. Huh?
yeah, like, no, that's what we're gonna eat. Especially me, that I grew up in the Caribbean, we would eat it, and the chickens sometimes we would go visit the family, and they had them fresh. Like they would pick one, and when I realized that, I was one like, no, like I wanted to. It was terrifying for me, and then we're like indoctrinated. Well, we have to. A child just wants to be friends with that chicken.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just wants to be friends, and all of a sudden they're communicating. They have this communication.
You know, maybe, Jackie, we should leave with that last thing of the inner child, of being able to look at life in this new innocent way. And each moment is a new innocent moment, isn't it? Oh my God, those birds are singing, and being present like that. So what a wonderful, meditation practice.
That is beautiful. Maybe we can close it with a mantra.
Yeah, you sing and I'll
I don't know, Ganesh or something to remove obstacles, maybe.
Yeah, I'm wearing Ganesh. My T-shirt is Ganesh today.
Is that Ganesh?
Yeah.
Ganesh. I don't know why. It's funny you have Ganesh in your.
I don't know why. It's the first time I put this on ever. This Ganesh T-shirt.
I love it, and I think I thought of Ganesh and you're wearing. I didn't even realize. I saw your cool shirt, but perhaps we have to call on this dimension right now. To because it seems like there's a lot of obstacles for us all.
Yes.
So let's call on this energy to just help us clear it out. Also, mental blockages or something.
Right.
That it's not just the physical blockages; it's the mental blockages for us to understand what is happening.
Yes.
And be able to take action, get the obstacles out of the way.
Yes.
Oh, Pluto's coming.
No, Pluto's pushing us now. So go through the obstacles, or better still, use your breath and fly over the obstacles. That's Hanuman. And Ganesh is the remover of all obstacles.
Exactly. I've been working with Hanuman because Mars is very dominant right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm really trying to oh my God, Mars. I've been having this conversation with Mars, to please help me maintain my
Well, he's in air now. He's being pushed on. So he's in the air. And you remember how smart Ganesh is.
Exactly.
The story was, Shiva was going to give all the knowledge to one of his sons, and they went off running around the universe, and all Ganesh did is he walked around his father 3 times. He didn't go anywhere. He knew where the teachings were. Huh?
I'm in love with Ganesh. I got him right there in the corner.
Yeah. Om Gang Ganesha Ganapati.
Yeah, and what a courageous, beautiful, childlike energy that he brings.
Yes.
And the inner child, Ganesh.
Ganesh.
It gives me this inner child sense. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Sharanam Ganesha.
Om Ganapataye Sharanam Ganesha.
Sharanam Ganesha. Om
Ganapataye Namaha
Sharanam Ganesha.
Om Ganapataye Namaha Sharanam Ganesha. We do it together. Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Ganapati, Ganapati, Ganapataye. Ganapati, Ganapati, Ganapataye. Ganapati, Ganapati,
Ganapataye
Namaha.
Namaha.
Gam Ganapataye
Namaha.
Gam Ganapataye
Namaha.
Gam
Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha.
It's 9:33. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti, Shanti. Hey, Jaquel.
You are lovely, Deva.
That was so much fun, huh?
Thank you so much once again for this. There's so much to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much to come. Until Monday, I'm sitting doing a retreat or like some ceremony with you. We're collaborating ceremony together. So, thank you again for your incredible presence, your wisdom, your knowledge, and all this insight that you have brought here for us today, and the energy, the music. And I want you to just say something you want to say to the people at this time, some last words of wisdom that you want to say to the collective in relations to this. And also, I want you to please say your website, all your information, which I will have in the description box below, will be a link and everything to Deva's information, but I'll let him also say so that you can contact him. He's an incredible astrologer, and he's also an integration coach and an artist. So, Deva.
Jaquel, I just so enjoy your presence, and actually I'm very humble in your presence, because to see the way that you are flowering, it gives so much validity to this feeling and knowing that the nature wants us to flower. It really does. I mean, you read a chart so that you can give clues to the fertilizer for this flowering. And we each have this potentiality to flower. So to live to our fullest, why not? Is what I want to say. And you can find me. You can look up DEVA NIRGUNA on Facebook. You can message me. You can look up astrology-deva.com. You can find me there. I've got many websites. devanirguna.com has my art and things on. So, Jaquel, I'm so thankful that we have this opportunity to be in each other's studio.
The honor and pleasure is all mine. It's all mine. I feel
De
like
nada, as they say here.
The other side, I'm here in California, in my own little sanctuary, in this little studio apartment, not apartment, but the studio home.
But look how vast it feels.
Over there with the nature behind you, and we have our arts and our own essence, which is very intertwined. And thank you again, Neva. We will do this again.
We will do this again. This was a key in a door, wasn't it? So
this was a key in a door. And if you need to contact me for anything as well, ancientlightinsights@gmail.com.
Yes.
All be blessed. Be safe. Get creative. Get out into
creative.
Get creative. Go out into nature. Do your sun gazing in the morning. Work your breath. Do this meditation. Get active. Don't dwell on the future, what's going to happen. It's anxiety. You know, don't dwell on the past. Get it over with. Clean it out. Be okay with going into the feminine and just live life in the moment. And remember, recreate yourself, because the world is recreating itself. Go along with it as well. Become innovative. Aquarius is about being innovative, you know, and intellectual, and taking it to a higher dimension.
Bring me your higher love.
Yeah. Let it be. Namaste to all.
Namaste. Namaste.